Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, in the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful. Welcome to Lady Khadija radiallahu anha online college, live A-level lesson, year 2, pure maths. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We are looking at the chapter of parametric equations, and today we're going to have a pair of equations involving cosec and cot. So try to just remember, see if you can remember before I write it on the screen. What is the identity for that you covered in an earlier chapter to do with cosec and cot? Okay, let's begin. Have a look at the question. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, in the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful. First equation in the pair is for x, and it is x is equal to the cotangent of t plus 2. And then the second of the two equations is that y is equal to cosec squared t minus 2. And the question is, can we combine the two equations into one, which is y and x and nothing to do with t? Just before we do that, let's stick in the domain for t, which is 0 to t. Sorry, t is between 0 and pi. So coming back to the main problem, we want to rearrange this so that we end up without the t and we just want y and x. So we think back to an earlier chapter, and can you remember the identity? It is 1 plus cot squared theta is identical to cosec squared theta. So let me write that properly now. 1 plus cotangent squared theta is identical to cosec squared theta. And here we're dealing with t, not theta, so let's replace the theta and let's get t there. And then see if you can figure out a way of using this to be able to figure out the y and x equation. Let's take each equation and let's try and rearrange it for the different parts that go in here. So if we can rearrange it for cot squared t and cosec squared t separately, then we can substitute each bit in turn. So the first one, x equals cot t plus 2. Let's take the plus 2 across. That can be a minus 2. And now I've got cot t, cotangent t, but I need cot t squared. So let's square both sides, and that becomes x minus 2 squared is equal to the cotangent of t squared. So that's fantastic because that means that I've got a match here. I've got this matches that part of the identity. So if I make a bit of space, I can then take this and swap it for the x minus 2 squared. Okay, good. Let's do the same with the y equation. So let's take the minus 2 across. Here it should be a bit easier because I don't need to do anything to square it. So I've just got y plus 2 is equal to cosec squared t, and that is an exact match. So cosec squared t matches here, so that means I can bring the y plus 2 across. And then let's just try and simplify and try and make it look a little bit easier. I've got plus 2 here and plus 1 here, so let's take the plus 1 off both sides, and that'll come down from 2 to just 1. And then let's bring the plus 1 across. So that'll be a minus 1. And then we're more familiar with having y on the left and everything else on the right. So let's just swap the sides. So we can have y on this side, x minus 2 squared minus 1 on that side. And then we'll put an equals in between. And now we've got the final equation, which is just in terms of y and x, and there's nothing with the t or the cot or the cosec. You can expand that out if you want, or you could just leave it in that form, which is fine. Join me for more in the next lesson. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace be with you and the mercy and blessings of God.